Yeah. All right. Yeah. There we go. What are you doing? You're making it jiggle. It's gonna fall.
The low power battery thing. As soon as you press record, it came.
Here's how you do these ones. I told you that you could break it up, right? You could go square root of 3 over the square root of 8. In this case, you might be like, well, that didn't really help. You could simplify that right now, but here's what you actually do. You never want a square root on the bottom of a fraction. Just for the sake of time, trust me on that one. I'm going to explain why later, but we got low iPad power, so we got to get through this. So you got to get the radicals off the bottom, and you got to do that without changing the value of this number. What can we multiply by that doesn't change the value of something? 1. Yes. So we're going to multiply this by 1. But we're going to multiply it by a weird-looking 1. If I do the square root of 8 divided by the square root of 8, doesn't that have 1?
Yeah.
So will multiplying by this change the value of the number?
No.
No. But what will it do?
It'll change the thing on the
You'll
bottom.
get rid of the...
Yeah, what's the square... When you multiply fractions, you multiply the top, multiply the bottom, right?
Yeah.
What's the square root of 8 times the square root of 8?
8.
8. Square root of 3 times the square root of 8.
3 times square root of 8.
Square root of 24. Remember, when you multiply, you can multiply the numbers underneath. It only works for multiply. Don't do it when it's addition. Now we can break up 24. What is that? 4 times 6?
8, 8, 12.
And well, I'm just going to do 4 times 6 because the square root of 4 is 2, and then there's 6 left. Oh my goodness, Rosie, what is it?
Just hold it. Just hold it.
My leg fell off.
I got this.
I'm sorry. Just like each week a new student has
to hold it. Thanks, Jimmy. This week you don't get to back. You can't hold the camera.
This is how I used to do it before Henry bought me that. Do you know Henry got me that?
No.
So then,
S.O. Henry.
you can simplify that. You know what you would do?
Get you a new one for Christmas.
2 8s. Isn't that 1/4?
Yes.
Sure.
So it'd just become the square root of 6 over 4. That's one way of writing it. You can put the 1 if you want. Another way to write it would be 1/4 times the square root of 6. That's the same thing. Because if you multiply square root of 6 times a 4th, you'd put it over 1. Oh man, I got too many screens. It's difficult. There. I was like, what do you mean? It's perfect on here. So, I don't know. Stop there. So third root ones, it's a little different. Sure, we can break it up third root of 5 over the third root of 32. However, the difference here is that it's third root. If you do the third root of something times the third root of something, does it give you that something? Very confusing question. If I do the third root of 8 times the third root of 8, does it equal 8?
No, does it equal 8 cubed?
No. You know what the third root of 8 is, just off the top of your head?
No.
It's 2. Right, 2 times 2 times 2.
I do now.
And so that's 2 times 2. It doesn't give us 8, does it?
Please excuse the interruption at this time. I need the PEP band members released. Thank you.
Better watch the video, Charlie, or you're going to be awfully confused.
Subscribe. Like, huh?
Did you see
You're playing in the pep assembly.
This is one of my worst videos of all time right here. Third root of 8 times third root of 8 is not 8, is it?
No.
So, will our same strategy work here? Can I just multiply by the third root of 32? Like, can I just go times third root of 32 over third root of 32? Does that get rid of the radical on the bottom?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
We just found third root of 8 times third root of 8 is not. But watch this. If I multiply by another one, doesn't that equal 8 now?
Yeah.
because it's third root, and the third root means what number multiplied by itself 3 times gives you that number, you have to multiply that thing by itself 3 times to get rid of it. So, on this one, where it's third root, am I good up there? So we got the third root of 5 over the third root of 32. We have to multiply by the third root of 32 twice.
So if you have like the 87th square root, you'd have to multiply it 87 times.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
There's a faster way that I can show you later. So then you do this, you multiply those all out. Let's do the bottom first. What's the third root of 32 times the third root of 32 times the third root of 32? 32. The top's going to get ugly, isn't it? It's 5 times 32 times 32. But aren't we going to simplify the radical anyway?
Yes.
Meaning, aren't we going to break it apart into the tree thing? So guess what? There's no reason to multiply them together. For right now, let's just leave it 5 times 32 times 32 under the radical. And then guess what we're going to do? Just break those two apart. 5's prime already, so we just got to break apart 32. We don't have to break apart this big old 900 something or 1,000, whatever it is, number. So, man, this is getting tough. Like cross-handed over here. Let's see, 32, what's that break down into? 2 times 16, 2 times 8, 2 times 4, 2 times... 2 to the 5th, basically, right?
Sure.
I got it right here. Oh, you can't see it. There you go. Breaks down into 5 2's. Well, I would have 2 of these, right? There's 2 32's. So I got 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. There's 1 32. I got another 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. There's the other 32. And I got a 5.
You just circle off the
Yeah.
groups of 3.
Groups of 3. There's 1. Bring out a 2. There's another one. Bring out a 2. There's another one. Bring out a 2. And what's left underneath? 5 times 2, so 10. So we got the third root of 10. So this becomes 2 times 2 times 2. It's 8 times the third root of 10 over 32. Can we reduce this, simplify this fraction right here in front? 8 32nds. 1/4. Thanks, Mariah. It's the third root of 10 over 4. Well, that was fun. Got one more to show you. How much time I got? Not much, huh? 4 minutes. Perfect. Example 3 right here. Is it on that screen? Yeah. All right. So after doing last night's homework, did you notice how you get rid of the radical when you multiply by stuff? What I mean is, we can't just multiply this one by 2 times the square root of 3, because then we'd have to do distributive property, right? You know what I'm saying? And 2 times the square root of 3 times 5 would be 10 times the square root of 3, and we would still have a radical on the bottom of the fraction. But we want to get rid of this on the bottom of the fraction. What happened last night in your homework when you multiplied the two things together and all the radicals went away? We just talked about it too earlier when we were going over the answers. I'll give it to you since we're short on time. Wasn't it just the exact same numbers, but one was plus and one was minus? That has a name. It's called the conjugate. All you do is change the sign in between them. And we're going to multiply by, 5 plus 2 times the square root of 3.
Do what you did with the 12 up there.
To what?
You turned the 2 into a 3 up on.
Oh, yeah. So that's still 1, right? Mm-hmm. Now we just got to do some multiplication. So we'll do distributive property on top. Square root of 3 times 5 is 5 square root of 3. Square root of 3 times 2 times the square root of 3? It would be 6. Yeah. Be square root of 3 times square root of 3, which is 3, and then times 2 is 6, so we got plus 6 over distributive property on bottom. 5 times 5 is 25. What's always going to happen to the middle on this? It's going to cancel. 5 times 2 root 3 is 10 root 3, and that's positive 10 root 3. You'd have minus 10 root 3, that's 0. You can write it if you want, if it helps you feel organized. I'm going to skip that one because I know it's 0. And then last, you got negative 2 root 3 times positive 2 root 3. Negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3, so it's minus 12. So you end up with 5 square root of 3 plus 6 over 13. Whoops. Got too many screens. And so I will give you the homework on that on Monday.